How modern cybersecurity fails and what actually works. Most organizations today spend more on cybersecurity than ever before. They buy more tools, they hire more people, they pass more audits, and yet breaches keep happening. Not just small ones. Major government systems, defense contractors, critical infrastructure, hospitals, energy networks. So the obvious question is not, how do we add more security? But, why does security still fail? That is what this video is about. The uncomfortable truth. The uncomfortable truth is this. Most cybersecurity programs are built to look good on paper, not to survive real attacks. They are designed around compliance frameworks, procurement processes, and organizational charts, not around how systems actually behave under pressure. Security fails not because people are stupid. It fails because incentives are wrong. Failure 1. Confusing compliance with security. Let's start with the most common problem: compliance. Standards like ISO 27001, NIST, or sector regulations are useful. They create a baseline. They force organizations to take security seriously. But they do not make you secure. Here is a real pattern we see again and again. An organization passes an audit. They get the certificate. Security budgets freeze. Leadership feels safe. Meanwhile, attackers do not care about your certificate. They look for weak identity management. They look for misconfigured access. They look for exposed keys, shared credentials, legacy systems nobody wants to touch. We have seen fully compliant systems breached through a single service account that had not been rotated in years. On paper, everything was correct. In reality, one key opened half the environment. Compliance describes intent. Security is about behavior. Failure 2. Perimeter thinking in a perimeterless world. Another major failure is perimeter thinking. The idea that there is an inside that is trusted and an outside that is dangerous. That model made sense 20 years ago. It does not work anymore. Today, systems are distributed across clouds, partners, suppliers, and national borders. Users connect from everywhere. Data flows between organizations, not just inside them. Yet many architectures still assume that once you are inside the network, you are trusted. Attackers love this. They do not try to break everything. They just need to get in once. After that, lateral movement is often trivial. We have seen environments where compromising one laptop gave access to dozens of internal services, simply because nothing inside was properly segmented. Firewalls at the edge do not help if everything inside trusts everything else. Failure 3. Tools without architecture. Another pattern we see constantly is tool overload. Organizations buy security products one by one. Endpoint protection, SIEM, SOAR, CASB, DLP. Identity tools, monitoring tools. Each tool solves a narrow problem. But nobody steps back and asks a more important question. How does this system behave as a whole when something goes wrong? Security becomes a patchwork. Alerts everywhere. Logs everywhere. But no clear understanding of trust, authority, and responsibility inside the system. We have seen organizations with dozens of security tools that still could not answer basic questions like, who can access this data? Why can they access it? What happens if their credentials are stolen? Security tools without architecture just create noise. Failure 4. Ignoring key management. Key management is one of the least visible and most dangerous failure points. Encryption is everywhere. That is good. But encryption is only as strong as the way keys are generated, stored, rotated, and revoked. In many systems, keys live far longer than they should. They are copied between environments. They are backed up in plain text. They are embedded into code. We have seen systems where losing one database backup effectively meant losing all historical confidentiality. Not because encryption was broken, because key management was an afterthought. Attackers understand this very well. They do not break crypto. They steal keys. Failure 5. Treating humans as the weakest link instead of the control point. There is a popular saying that humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity. That framing is wrong. Humans are not the weakest link. They are the most powerful control point. Most breaches still involve identity, phishing, credential reuse, privilege escalation, abuse of legitimate access. Yet many systems still grant far more access than needed, simply because managing fine-grained permissions is hard. Security fails when systems assume people will always behave perfectly. Good security assumes people will make mistakes and designs around that. So what actually works? Now let's talk about what actually works in practice. Not buzzwords, not slogans, principles. What works? 1. Architecture before tools. Strong security starts with architecture. Clear trust boundaries, clear separation of roles, clear understanding of who can do what and why. Before buying tools, you need answers to basic questions. What happens if this component is compromised? What is the blast radius? Can one failure take down everything? If the answer is yes, no tool will save you. What works too? Zero trust as a design principle, not a product. Zero trust is not a product you buy. It is a design principle. Never assume trust based on location. Always verify identity. Limit access to exactly what is needed. When done properly, zero trust reduces damage, even when attackers get in. And they will get in. The goal is not perfect prevention. The goal is controlled failure. What works? 3. Treating keys and identities as critical infrastructure. Keys and identities should be treated like crown jewels. Short lifetimes, clear ownership, strong isolation, auditable access. If you cannot clearly explain how keys are protected and rotated, the system is not secure, no matter how strong the encryption looks on paper. What works? 4. Designing for failure, not perfection. Every serious security architecture assumes breach. The question is not, can this be compromised? The question is, what happens when it is? Good systems fail gracefully. Bad systems collapse. This is especially important in defense, government, and critical infrastructure, where availability and continuity matter as much as confidentiality. Closing. Modern cybersecurity fails because it focuses too much on appearances and not enough on reality. Certificates instead of behavior. Tools instead of architecture. Assumptions instead of verification. What actually works is not mysterious. Clear design, clear trust boundaries, strong identity, and key management. And systems built to survive failure, not pretend it will never happen. If these topics matter to your organization, you can follow the channel. More videos will go deeper into each of these areas.